Hey, it's Evie, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. Today is a beautiful sunny day in Bath, still in lockdown, coming to the end of week 2 in lockdown. I'm finding the week, absolutely fine in the week, but the weekends I do struggle slightly, especially on a Sunday, I just do. But it's 2 weeks down and we've got to go to 3 weeks. And then I'm sure we'll go longer than that, but at least when we get to that end of that 3 week period, it's not so tough then being told, well, you've got to just do another 2 weeks or something. So anyway, I'm digressing from this video. This is a video request from Irina, and this is how to get over past hurt and resentment that you had in your relationship. You want this ex back, you want your ex back, but you have so many issues in your head, like baggage that you're carrying around with you, like a heavy rucksack on your back. You're carrying this stuff around with you, so you're not like an empty vessel waiting for this to happen. You've just got all of this baggage. And I always say that circumstances don't matter, and Irina wanted me to clarify what I meant by that and why don't they matter. Why do I say that they don't matter? In my opinion, why don't they matter? It is my opinion, all of this stuff is my opinion, but it's all from my experience. So I might go 2 months down the line here and I might have another experience that proves something else to me, and then I will come back to you and tell you about that. It's all on my experience, and I document all of these things for fun, really, because when I can then use those experiences in further writing that I do, in different articles that I write and different books. And I'm writing another one at the moment, actually, which is Living in the End Moment, so it's all to do with that. Anyway, Irina, I really hope I'm pronouncing that right, Irina. I really hope I'm pronouncing your name right. You know, when I'm saying people's names, so that's why sometimes I don't say a name if I'm doing a request and I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I think I've got that right. So let's kick off. What do I mean by that? And how do you get rid of that resentment and all of those hurtful feelings? So first of all, let me just explain to you what resentment does to you. It absolutely destroys your soul. It really does. And you are experiencing this. Nobody else is experiencing this. So you are holding on to resentment, but all you're doing is punishing yourself. And I know that's easy for me to say, and you know that probably, and letting go of that is another matter, but that is what you are doing, punishing yourself. The person, your ex, isn't feeling what you're feeling. You are feeling it. You are the only one feeling it. And sometimes you're probably not just going over and over it in your mind, you are just carrying it around. And you feel that that is going to impact your manifestation. It's not going to happen because it's resistance. Now, like I've said, I mean, I would suggest to you all, guys, if you are holding on to attachment or have held on to attachment with somebody and you feel that that's going now, don't try to manifest texts or phone calls. Now, you can do that if you're absolutely fine and you feel absolutely fine and you know that if you get that text or call, it's all going to be cool. But I would suggest that you focus more on the end result, so more on that relationship, being back together with that person. And then when the texts and phone calls come, which they will come, they've come naturally, and you haven't built up all this resistance, because if you start trying to manifest texts and phone calls now feeling like this, you won't get them. You'll get frustrated. You'll build up more resentment. You'll build up more resistance. So that's why when I've said before, I don't think affirmations are useful, I don't mean that I don't think affirmations are useful in general, because I use them myself and they are very useful to me. What I mean is, if you are trying to get a text from your ex, I do not suggest that you say affirmations like, John has texted me, John texts me all the time, stuff like that, because it won't help you. It really won't. You need to say a more general affirmation like, and I spoke to somebody about this online the other day, I have a happy and joyful relationship with John. I have a happy and loving relationship with John. I am in a happy and loving relationship with John. Sorry, John is just an example. So you're looking to the future, to that relationship, because that's what you want. Ultimately, okay, you don't just want a text or a phone call, do you? You want a relationship. If you just want a text and a phone call and you're not looking for it to go any further, then that's fine. But you guys don't. This is getting your ex back, which I've said before isn't really useful calling them your ex. Getting this person, bringing this person into your life, but you have this resistance. You have resentment, you know, things that maybe happened during your relationship. Maybe, I don't know, one of you was unfaithful, and that's pretty huge, or you know, things were said that were really, really hurtful to you, and all of that. Now, circumstances don't matter, and the reason that I believe that they don't matter is because you're not trying to change that person's opinion particularly, or thoughts or anything like that. Not really, not that person. You're not trying to mind bend them and you know, make them think something different. What you're doing is, when you set an intention to bring that person into your life, let's not call them your ex for this purposes of this video. When you decide to bring that person into your life, you are shifting in reality. If you allow that shift, if you can sort of let go of some of that attachment, you allow that shift, and that person that comes to you is a slightly different version of that person, because you've shifted slightly in reality. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Mandela Effect, and loads of you probably have. And I only heard about this when my son learnt about it for his GCSEs, believe it or not. And I am talking about thousands of people here having one memory of it, and thousands of people having another memory of it. And the people that had one memory is the memory that we all probably have, that I have, when he died. But other people thought he died years and years later, and they have an exact memory of his funeral and everything. And it's bizarre, really bizarre, and it's an actual documented thing. So I looked into it a bit more, and this sort of resonated with me, because this is what I'm thinking. We are shifting between realities all of the time. And I know it's huge to get your head around that if you don't believe in sort of the theory of quantum physics like I do, but that is what I believe is happening here. So you are not trying to change that person's mind. When you've shifted in reality, that person automatically has that mindset, does want to be with you, does want to be in contact with you, because you've chosen to shift in reality slightly, so that person feels differently than the person before. But you haven't changed their mind, you haven't gone in and played around with their thoughts or anything like that. You've just selected a slightly different reality where they are slightly different and they feel slightly different. Now, again, we'll go back to resentment. It's a killer, it is. And even if you don't, if you weren't a follower of the law of attraction, I would tell you this. I write relationship articles and I get lots of requests to write about this kind of thing, because it is a killer. It does kill your soul. You are drinking the poison and expecting somebody else to get sick when you hold on to resentment and stuff like that, because they aren't getting it. It's only you, and it is killing you, really, and it will kill your manifestation. You could bring that person back into your life holding on to resentment. Definitely, you can still manifest like that. Once you've let go, you can manifest. But if you're still holding on to that and thinking that they are this way, then that is what you'll get back again, and this will happen all over again. So try to get your head around the fact that you are shifting in reality. You are not changing that person. You are experiencing a slightly different version of that person. Circumstances don't matter. If you were the one that did the bad, whatever the bad was, and you consider to be, maybe you were unfaithful and you think there's no way they will ever get over that. That's not true either. They will. They can. It's happened. I've spoken to people. It's happened. I've coached somebody that very thing happened to them, that they had been unfaithful. It was a very short relationship that they had with somebody else, and there was all kinds of other things going on, and their partner said absolutely no way would they ever have anything to do with them ever again. And now they're back together, and this is 6 months later. And actually the period that it took for them to get back together was only 6 weeks, but that was 6 weeks at the end of this 6 months. So all of that time they've been going along trying to manifest them back, but thinking, but they'll never come back, they'll never come back, they'll never come back. And then we were working together, and within 6 weeks, they are properly back together now, properly back together, giving it another shot. This is how this is possible. So circumstances don't matter, because you're having a slightly different experience of that person. It's a slightly different experience. They are slightly different. They don't think they're slightly different. You see them as the same. But all of the things that happened before don't need to be a barrier to what can happen now. If you hold on to those things, then they will be. So you need to find a way to let go. And again, I go back to the switch words. Switch words are amazing. Find your switch word, a word that you say to yourself when you are feeling like that releases all of that stuff. And if you can do that, you need to practice this, and it's all about practice. And if you expect to wake up tomorrow morning and have lost all that resentment and stuff, it's not going to happen. You need to work on it. So you need to start getting a slightly better feeling. So let's say that you now believe that you are going to shift in reality slightly. So that version of that person is going to be slightly different. And they can be that version can be exactly as you want that version to be, that you believe that version can be. You don't have to believe that they are. This is the problem. We don't have to force our minds to believe that they are this way. We just have to believe in the possibility of them being this way, of them being this loving towards us and caring and all of the stuff that you want them to be. Believe in that possibility and feel how you would feel if they were this way. And that's what you need to do. So you want to let go of this resentment. You wake up tomorrow morning, say, and you say, I'm done with this resentment, but you still feel it. It's still there. How do you get rid of it? You intend for it to go. You intend to let go of any resentment that you're feeling over this situation. You wake up and you say to yourself, I intend to let go of any resentment I feel over John. I don't know why I keep using that name, but John. And you say that maybe a couple, 2 or 3 times throughout the day, and then you say it the next day, and the next day, and the next day. But you get quite a nice feeling of the thought, how wonderful would this feel if I could let go of this resentment? And you do that, and that's your intention. Do it for a week, on and off for a week, and then let it go, and just see what happens with that, because it will diminish. I promise you it will diminish, and you'll feel, you'll sit down maybe 2 weeks later and think, how do I feel about that now? And it will be much, much less. Again, it's all about self-discipline. So that's a very good way of, you can intend anything, can't you? And that is a good way of getting you closer to getting back with this person, or to bringing this person into your life, because you've started to release the resentment. I wouldn't call resentment attachment. It isn't really, because you can, like I said, you can be detached and still resentful. You don't have to have that attachment. Like I said, you can still manifest feeling resentment, but for your soul, it is best to try and let it go, and do whatever you can to make that work for you. Again, don't get obsessed about it, releasing resentment. Don't make that your obsession, but do it lightly. Sort of take a light touch with it, and do that every single day, just for a few days, then let it go. Let it go for a week, see how you feel. Do it again. Let it go for a week, see how you feel. See this as a long-term plan, because I don't know how long any of you guys have been split up from from these people. I'm really trying not to say ex. I don't know how long this has been going on, but don't rush it, okay? Because if you rush it, you'll just get back a version of it that'll just end again, and it won't work out. Get yourself right. When you feel better and you feel good, you manifest, and you manifest good. You manifest it in the right way, and all is good. So I really hope that this was useful, Irina, and to anybody else that's holding on to this kind of stuff. I really do suggest that you look at the bigger picture. Don't keep trying to manifest texts and calls. Go for the end result, and don't make that end result marriage or anything like that. You can do if you're not, again, you're not too attached, but I wouldn't do that, because then you're putting a stipulation on it. I want it to be this, exactly this. Okay, so more a relationship. You want to be in a relationship with that person, so just imagine it a little bit, but don't go overboard with, you need to kind of start letting this go a little bit now, and stop clinging onto it, because that energy, that desperate energy, is not good. So imagine it a little bit, get a good feeling, let it go. That affirmation, I am in a happy and joyful relationship with whoever your specific person is. And that actually gives you a really nice feeling. That affirmation is a nice affirmation. You can sort of do variations on it for various different situations. It is a really nice affirmation. So, and it's quite general. I like general affirmations, not really, really specific ones. I know people have done it with winning the lottery and stuff like that, but it's not for me. But it's just not for me. It doesn't mean it's not for you. So, hope this was useful. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. I've got so many requests, so I'm gradually working through them. I think the next one, it was about living in the end, and various different ways that you can do that. I have done videos about that before, but if I make it completely specific to that, I hope that one will be useful too. Anyway, as always, go to my website, drop me a line on the general inquiry, go to the coaching page, select general inquiry from the drop down, and ask me anything. Thank you for watching.